say. Yeah, now I rep the O, what you know about the west side. I just bought a whip,
Artlist.io.
live my best life. Bought a couple stocks, so I'm covered for the next 5. I don't like the top, but I will if you test my patience. I'm patiently waiting, think you know me, but you've been mistaken. Loaning my
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed. Oh. Yesterday was Easter and I was on Instagram and I saw this account, which I don't know why I was following them, but I've now unfollowed them. And it's like this diet and weight loss account, and they were basically telling people that because it's Easter, they shouldn't abandon their diets and they shouldn't eat chocolate. They shouldn't participate in eating Easter eggs, which I've literally got one right here. They're not allowed to eat this because they're on a diet, and if they eat chocolate today, they're going to wake up tomorrow in a pool of guilt and everything's going to die. It didn't say that word for word, but it basically told people not to eat chocolate because it's going to ruin their diet, and then they're going to wake up tomorrow feeling guilty, and you have to think about good calories and bad calories. And I was reading that and it really annoyed me because I'm just like, why are there companies or people out there that think they can like perpetuate these kinds of information and it's not damaging? Now, first of all, Easter is one day a year. You can be on the world's strictest diet, but if you want to have chocolate on Easter, you should be able to have chocolate on Easter without someone making you feel guilty for participating in some chocolate. Like, the world's gone mad. And then it was like, I see that on Instagram, then I go onto TikTok and I see like bullying. I mean, that's what it was, cyberbullying of a few different TikTokers that I follow. And one of them is this 17-year-old girl from, I don't know where she's from, like Bristol or something, I could be wrong, or like Reading, I think. She's from the UK. Her name's Maya. She's actually got quite a big following, and she posts about all kinds of stuff. Like, she does makeup videos and she's very good. I'll actually leave her name in like the bio so you guys can check her out. But she was also getting some slack. I don't know if this was exactly yesterday, but I saw the video yesterday about like people telling her that she's promoting obesity because she had like a video up about like being positive about your body, and she was dancing and she had like her stomach out and, you know, she looked great. And people were like, why are you promoting obesity? Because she was talking about like being positive about your body. And I'm like, oh, the world has gone mad. There's so much bullying and so much shame put on people's weight and what they eat. Like, she's currently on a weight loss journey. I think her goal is like to fit into these jeans that she used to have, and she's on a calorie deficit, which, keep in mind, everyone's calorie deficit will be different when they're trying to lose weight because it's determined by simple things like your resting metabolic rate, so how many calories you burn just from being, and then obviously your current weight, your height, your gender, everything. And she'll be doing these eating videos, and there's people in the comments like, that doesn't look healthy, and that looks like a lot of food, I thought you were on a diet. And then I see another thing, I can't remember what it was on or where it was from, but it was talking about like basically the importance of weighing yourself and how it's a great way to keep track of your progress and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, weighing yourself is a great way to keep track of your progress to an extent. To be honest, the scales only tell you so much. It doesn't tell you about like your body fat percentage. It doesn't tell you how much fat you have or how much muscle you have. It just tells you about how much you weigh in like relation to gravity or whatever. And like, when you're trying to lose weight, I get it, like being able to track your weight is very helpful, but then what about when it gets to a point when you've lost the weight that you need in order to be healthy, or if you have health problems, in order for those risks to be reduced? In my opinion, the scales serve no purpose. But these are just a few things I wanted to touch upon today. So the first thing is society and their views on dieting and weight loss and the ideal body image and this, that, or the other. Like, I'm 24 years old, and I remember growing up, I used to watch shows like America's Next Top Model.
I'm extremely disappointed in you. This is a joke to you.
And I used to look up to like Tyra Banks and Naomi Campbell. To be honest, Naomi Campbell wasn't as problematic as Tyra Banks in American Sex Top Model. But I used to look up to like all these models and the people in the shows because I'm quite tall, I'm 5'10", so it was like there was never girls or women around me who looked like me. So all I had was like these models to look up to on TV, and they were all so skinny, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I want to be a model, I want to be skinny, I want to be this, that and the other. Fast forward to 2021, now you have people who are skinny who people are telling them they're too skinny. I've had people say to me, and I'm size 10, so I'm not even that skinny, that like I would look better if I was thicker. But then at the same time, you have these diet companies telling people to feel guilty about eating chocolate. And then you have women who are thicker, who have that hourglass shape, who still get shamed for having cellulite. And it's like, you actually can't win. Like, we actually can't win, you know? We actually need to do better, you know, like as a society, like we need to do better, even just about things that we deem like normal. It's like, you go on social media and it's just this place of like toxicity, and it's just this place of like people shaming people for looking one way or not looking another way, or being too much of this or being too much of that, or you know, their lips are too thin or their lips are too big, or, and I'm tired of it. Like, maybe I need to deactivate my Instagram for a bit, but I'm just tired of it. Like, I thought I'd come on here and do a quick little rant. I'm just like, I actually used to work in an eating disorders hospital with adolescents who had eating disorders. It's like majority of them had anorexia nervosa, but obviously you have like other comorbidities and other problems. You have like bulimia, you have restricted food intake, you have binge eating disorder, you have PCAR. There's loads, you know, there's loads. And it got me thinking about like my own experiences and my own relationships with food throughout my life. Like, I've always had a very strange relationship with food and a very strange relationship with eating as well, for no real reason, because I've never been big, I've never been overweight. I actually used to be skinnier than I am now, and yeah, it was just like such a huge thing for me. Like, I used to count my calories, I used to restrict, I used to try and eat like anything between like 700 to like 1,200 calories a day. If I had seen an Instagram post like that which said do not eat chocolate because you'll feel guilty, I would have probably thrown my chocolate in the bin. In fact, not probably, I would have, because I used to do that a lot. I would have thrown my chocolate in the bin so I couldn't see it, and I would have got on the scale as a form of like self-awareness. This is how much you weigh. If you eat this chocolate, you're gonna gain a pound, which you won't. You know, like, what? And I think obviously like people developing like eating disorders, for example, that it's complex, and oftentimes it isn't just social media, because people had eating disorders when social media didn't exist, you know. But it definitely doesn't help. It definitely does not help people who have eating problems, and that could be an eating disorder because they are thin, or that could be an eating disorder because they binge eat and they're bigger, you know. Just every time I go on social media, I'm just disappointed. I'm just like, mate, I need to lower my standards of how I view the world and how I view like these industries, because they're just really disappointing and like really underwhelming, you know. Like, one great thing to think about is even just like gym culture. So like, I go to the gym a lot. Like, I love a good workout, I love a good, you know, love it. And like, one thing people would always say to me, especially when I was in uni, is like, oh, what's your gym goals, what's your fitness goals, blah 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 blah. And it's like, at one point I had gym goals, like I wanted like abs, I got the abs, and it was like, now what? I want toned thighs, I got the toned thighs, it's like, now what? And now it's like, I just go gym to go gym. I go gym to feel good. Exercise is good for you, both physically but mentally. And it's funny because whenever I get asked that question, I'm kind of like, why do I need to have goals? Why can't we just exercise to enjoy it? Why can't we just exercise to want to exercise? And again, I think it's because we're kind of told that like, we always have to be working towards something, or we always have to be working towards bettering ourselves. And a lot of time, like, bettering yourself is attributed to changing like a part of your appearance, when it's like bettering yourself can literally just be getting up and going for a run that you would typically not do, or bettering yourself can be getting up and doing some yoga or some stretches that you wouldn't do. You know, like, you don't have to go to the gym to be healthy, you don't have to do this, that, or the other. And I'm just like, I have so many sort of thoughts circulating through my head, and so many things that I'm just like, just bother me about the way things are. Like,
Few moments later, a few minutes later, a few inches later.
like, people don't realize what they're saying and the damaging effects that what they're saying can have on people. Like, the body positive movement was created by bigger women for bigger women, to be honest. Like, yes, if you're slimmer like myself, you can be positive about your body, and you should be, but it's like, this movement was specifically created for bigger women because we live in a fatphobic society and bigger people are systematically oppressed. Whether you believe that or not, it is a fact. Society judges people on appearance, you know, and people who are bigger are often othered, and they're not deemed as like appropriate in society. I feel like at some point, like, people actually just need to hold themselves like accountable for their actions, even if it's on social media and it's behind a screen. And that doesn't just have to be like whether you're bullying someone, because you should be held accountable for your actions if you're bullying someone, but also like these dieting and fitness pages which are perpetuating all this food guilt over nothing. It's like, this is why I don't think dieting works, and this is why I don't think people should be on diets, or like structured diets. I'm sure there are some diets which are quite good. Like, I don't know too much about all of them, but like, I know some people are on like the keto diet, apparently that's quite good, so I'm not bashing all diets. I just feel like nowadays, like, eating and diet culture is so toxic because it makes people almost see food as like this guilt or reward system, when it's like, food is fuel and you need food regardless of your weight, you need food regardless of your goals. And yes, there are different types of food, but I just don't agree with the idea of like shaming people because they're treating themselves, or if they've gone off track one day on their diet, it's doomsday, you know. There's this YouTuber I follow, actually, her name is Elzani Singleton, and I will put her name in the bio. She is a recovering anorexic, and the videos that she does are absolutely fantastic. When she does like the montages of her food and then the voiceover, she's talking about how far she's come from her anorexia, where she almost died, to now being I mean, she's always been beautiful, but now being like absolutely beautiful and at like a healthy weight to sustain her body and sustain her lungs and sustain her organs. And she talks about these things, like she talks about like her relationship with food and how she felt guilty over eating certain foods and how she had fear foods. And when I saw that post on Instagram, I was just like, it's literally a catalyst for so many people to start developing disordered eating, or for so many people who are bigger to just have to just have horrible self-esteem about themselves because they're told to feel guilty about what they're eating. Like, I like to follow intuitive eating, which is essentially nothing. It just means eating intuitively, so going off how your body feels, because it's common sense that if you gorge on junk food all the time, not only is your body going to feel bad, but your mind is going to feel clogged. So it's like, I don't have certain calories that I eat, I don't cut out certain food groups, but intuitive eating is kind of just about being mindful and being mindful about what you're eating. And if you have a craving, go for the craving, but just don't have that all the time. Or if you're feeling fish and chips, get the fish and chips, and then tomorrow you can eat something healthier, or that same day you can eat something healthier. Like, going on Instagram and seeing people be told that they should feel guilty for eating chocolate on Easter, I'm just like, the world has actually genuinely gone mad. Like, the world has gone mad. And you know what, I think this is actually going to be a series that I'm going to do on my channel, kind of just like about eating and diet culture, because there is a lot I want to talk about, and there is only so much I can talk about in this little rant without everything kind of just not making sense. But yeah, that's my little two-piece and my little rant for Easter Sunday and the post that I saw on Instagram. So check in with me again when I have something else to rant about.